Hello YouTube, I'm back. Today I'm going to talk about how to replace your chromoly spindles on a road pedal to titaniums to save weight. The history behind this is I was looking for a way to save weight on my bike, so I decided to focus on the pedals. My pedals are Shimano SPDs made right around the year 2000. These SPDs weigh in right around 400 grams. To be exact, it was 386 grams, which is quite heavy, but they are actually really good pedals. They're in fact my favorite pedals, so I didn't really want to give these up, but I am trying to lighten my bike, so I thought maybe if I could get pedals below 300 grams, that would be good. So as I was searching for new pedals, I came upon these Wellgos. I don't know if they're made anymore, but I found a place that sold these. They're I believe they're Wellgo MG8, Magnesium 8. These are magnesium pedals, and they have a advertised weight of 250 grams, which is over 100 grams less than these. So I would save a quarter pound on a pair of pedals. Now I did hear that Wellgo used to offer titanium pedals, and the set would weigh about between 200 and 205 grams. And I looked for pedals in that price range, and they start at 100 and they go all the way to about $300. What I did was I bought titanium spindles, aftermarket spindles that I have yet to put on, but I'll do it in this video. So anyways, let me weigh these pedals for you so you can see how much they weigh right out of the box. Alright, let's weigh the Shimano pedals. I've already weighed these, but let's do it again. I've weighed it probably about a month ago. So one of them weighs 192.3 grams, and I put both of them on. Today it weighs 384. You know, if you weigh them different days, you get different results. But today, this weighs 384.3 grams. So each of them weigh about 384.3 grams. These new pedals I got are made from Wellgo. Wellgo, I think that's how you pronounce them. They're magnesium pedals. And they're much smaller and lighter than the pedals I originally had. And these weigh 117.4. This one weighs 117.4. And that one weighs 117.1. I weighed them together. The pedals weigh 234.5 grams, which is a lot less than the 250 grams that were advertised. I think it was probably advertised at 240 grams. Other websites advertise them as 250 grams, but they weigh less than what they were advertised as. So 234 is these are very light pedals, but I want to make them even lighter. So what I'm going to do is replace these spindles with titanium. These are chromoly pedals. So what I did was I ordered these spindles, these titanium spindles from China. Suppose that these are titanium, so let's see how much they weigh. One of these spindles weigh 31.6. That's the spindle plus the titanium nut. And this one weighs 31.5. So they weigh, well now, okay, they both weigh 31.6, it just readjusted. I'm now going to attempt to take the chromoly spindles off. Right now, what I'll do is I'm going to take this cap off, and it looks like it takes a let's try 6 millimeter. Yes. 6mm Allen. So the cap is off, and there seems to be another nut here. That's a 9mm socket. Now it's difficult to take the nut off without holding onto the spindle. So what I'll do is I'll take a 10mm Allen wrench, and I'm going to attempt to take out the nut. So I'm going to turn it counterclockwise. I hope it's counterclockwise. Let me find out if they're all the same. Counter is to remove on this one. So counterclockwise is to remove on both of these. So alright, I have my trusty old C3 impact wrench. Hopefully that'll help me take off the nut here. I actually just broke my clavicle, so it's very difficult for me to try to get this off with my left arm. What I'll do is I'll set this up like this. Well, apparently I stripped either the nut or the spindle. This is a right-hand drive pedal, and because I was following the titanium's direction of loosening, which is counterclockwise, I assume that this is counterclockwise as well, but the spindle on the right hand side, you have to turn it clockwise to loosen. So I stripped it going counterclockwise, then I decided to try going clockwise, and the bolt came off. So yeah, that was a big mistake here, so I probably won't be able to use this again unless I replace the bolt. So it might just be a bolt issue, but anyways, that's a bummer. So I'm going to weigh this with the grease on. I'm going to probably transfer the grease over to there. The grease with the nut is, where is that nut? It must be here. That's here. So the spindle itself with the nut and the grease, it's 53.1. 53.1. That's really heavy compared to the titanium one. Alright, so 53.1. And I remember this was 36, or no, it's 31.5. So significantly less. About over 20 grams difference. So I'll put these together and see how much they weigh. So actually, you know what? I could put them together now. With the cap. So the pedal with the titanium spindle is 95.5 grams. That is really light, 95.5 grams. So both of my pedals will be under 200 grams. So I transferred most of the grease over. It's green grease. And I'm going to put a drop of Loctite onto the threads because this is not reverse thread. Oops. So put a drop. Actually, I'll put more. I'm just gonna dab my fingers in here and just really get the threads covered with Loctite. I'm going to put the new spindle in. Ooh, the bearing came off. Let me try to get the bearing back down there. And then gotta use the right one. And I'm going to put the titanium nut back in here, tighten it up. Make sure I don't damage anything. Already messed up something already. And I'll put the cap back on here. You know, I could actually feel it. It's significantly lighter. Again, let's measure it. 95.5 with the grease in there. 95.6, sorry. So 95.6 versus, I forgot what it was before. Like 119 or so, 120. Significant improvement in weight with the titanium spindles. And if you look at the spindles, they're about the same height. I heard they were a little bit shorter, but they're pretty much the same. I also want to point out the difference in the titanium spindle. The nut on the titanium spindle is 8 millimeters versus 9 on the Wellgo. The hex hole here is actually the smaller one. It's the 6 millimeter versus 8 millimeter on the Wellgo. So I didn't know that, and I found out the hard way. Okay. Put the cap back on here. Of course, after I did it the first time, the second time it's easier. So this left pedal also weighs less than 100 grams. Came out to 95.8. If I weigh them both, I get 191.4. So for a pedal this light, I paid less than $90. Not bad. All right, just for kicks. So I got these two pedals on the scale, and I have 191.4 grams for these both. I want to weigh one of these pedals I get 192.1. So 2 of these weigh about the same as 1 of these SPD pedals. Actually, it ended up settling on at 193. Well, 192. So 192 for 1 of these SPD pedals versus 2 of these, weighing it at 191.5. So these 2 weigh less than 1 of my SPD pedals. Amazing.